Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Deck Collection 101 here on Arbeit U.
And as always, a great freaking episode. So great, I'm so pumped about this episode. I got dressed up today.
Special guest from an amazing company.
Yes. And it's our first live recorded video, right?
The only person brave enough to go on camera.
You can see him below. Am I right, Joe? Am I pointing in the right area? He's around here somewhere? Yeah. Perfect. Movie magic, baby. We're joined today by Greg Ruffino, who's the Director of Training for Williams and Fudge. You guys are based out of South Carolina?
North Carolina? Rock Hill, South Carolina.
Rock Hill, South Carolina.
Think Charlotte, North Carolina. Same thing.
Charlotte? Yeah, cool. If I don't know, can they see me looking at them? That's probably annoying. So Greg, you're the Director of Training. You're responsible for training over 350 people, which is, it cannot be easy, right?
Well, you gotta have a good team behind it, but absolutely, there's a lot of us involved in training. Not one single person should ever have to handle that many people, so you have a huge team. But I help design and create what makes that all happen and come together, for sure.
That's awesome. So let's start with, tell us a little about yourself. I think the people want to know that you're from Buffalo, New York. I feel like that's very important.
Yes.
Yeah.
And glad to be speaking to some fellow Western New Yorkers.
Yeah, buddy.
And how's the weather? I heard you had some flurries yesterday.
Wow. Yeah, no, I mean, it's 50 degrees outside right now, so for Buffalo, New York, we'll take it.
I think we hit about 80s right now, so...
Thanks for pointing that out. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so just the short of it was food, beverage, restaurant management forever. Like many people, got to change up that lifestyle and the schedule, so stumbled into collections thanks to a fellow Buffalonian down here in the South. But was a desk agent for a couple of years, had some good timing and some good opportunities where I got into the team leadership side, had my own team, about 40 people for a while, and another opportunity presented itself. We needed a overall big scope and game plan individual for the training program, and that was about 4 years ago. I became the director of training. So in total, 8 years with Williams and Fudge. First 4 split between collecting and team leader, and about last 4 on the director side.
Jeez, good for you. Yeah, good for you. So this kind of is a layup question, but how important is training to you guys?
It is vital. If you are an industry that experiences any kind of turnover, particularly in the higher rates, if you want to help mitigate that, then your training needs to be on point. And one of the things I think we'll get into is not just reactive training to the new hire or react to the bad audit, but how to be proactive and how to keep them engaged and enrich your employees and give them a benefit outside of monetary value. Yes, we will continue to engage you and teach you things as you spend your time, your hopefully a long time with us. So absolutely crucial, particularly in an industry that is never ending. The software is always changing, as you guys know. The regulations are nonstop, so we are on our toes here all the time looking for the next curveball to come our way.
So that's a great point, right? Because you brought up that it's always evolving and it's always changing, right? So how do you keep someone consistent? Like, for example, like we actually have a salesperson who just started today, so we were training them this morning. And then, the fear is they go out on the floor, then they learn something that's completely off script from what we just taught them, right? So how do you keep someone on focus, I'll say?
Well, one thing to recall is all learners, particularly adult learners, you might say, oh yeah, 3 months ago we trained the staff on negotiation tactics or something, and you checked a box and said, we did that. If you ask them a month later, hey, you know that training we did on negotiations last month? They're going to say, was that when you did this? No, that's not that one. Oh, yeah. So I'm always reminded that people forget very, very quickly what you just put a lot of time and energy into. So you have to constantly have some sort of scheduled program, timely reminders, timely refreshers. I know a lot of agencies out there enlist LMS programs to help them do that. You might not have to do that, but whatever your method is, you need to have timely things that aren't just done once and forgotten about, because they're going to forget. And life's crazy. We have a lot of content put in our face, and I need my content in your face often.
How often are you guys doing it? Does it depend on what specifically you're training on, or how often are you touching base on topics?
So there's pretty much a difference between the new hire onboarding and the staff members who have been here for 6 months to 20 years. Obviously, there's a big difference between that, but you have a very specific regimented program for the new hires that will literally span over the course of a few months of refreshing, bringing brand new information to them. And with the tenured staff, every single month we're designing some proactive courses where it's a combination of mandatory, which I don't really like that word, people don't like that word, required.
Yeah. No one likes a mandatory, right?
Yeah. Annual is a little bit softer word, but we'll have monthly proactive classes, higher education, continuing learning that we offer to our staff that are everything from negotiation tactics 101. Remember here, best practices for overcoming stalls and objections. Oh, here, by the way, we care about you, so we brought in this guy from the local credit union who's going to talk to you about personal finance. Oh, you have kids. Here's someone from the Red Cross chapter down the road. They're going to give you a CPR course. So it's not just...
Really?
Yeah, you can't just cram job skills or job-related things into your employees' faces. Sometimes it gets old. One of the things we really like to do is proactive stuff that's not just work-related, but life-related. I think that's a big part when we talk about turnover or enlisting people to stay with you for a long time. When you list all your benefits of why you should come work for me, everyone looks at the money, they look at the medical, the 401k, the time off. What am I going to learn while I'm there? Am I going to get stale? Am I going to learn how to push a button and breathe into a phone and then that's it for the next 5 years? Or are you going to teach me new life skills and keep me engaged? And if you can add that onto your promotions, if you can have your employees compare this benefit to their last job, which they will do, or this benefit to a potential next job, that might be the determining factor that says, you know what, this company's really putting the effort into me. It's not just about dollars and cents. Who doesn't love the incentive of money? But I know lots of adults out there who want a little bit extra, and you might be the difference maker that says we invest a little bit into some correct training outside of, hey, you had a bad audit, you got sued, you just got hired. What else can I teach you and train you, remind you month in and month out?
I love it.
Training never stops.
That's cool.
The minute your training stops,
Yeah.
sorry, you're going backwards.
Yeah, you're done. I absolutely love that. That's a great tip, right? So even non, job related skills, right? So you guys do the CPR thing. That's genius.
Yeah, that's...
So as an example, one of our employees in human resource, she outside the building, she's big into teaching Zumba classes and stuff at the YMCA. We'll have her not only just do exercise, 15-minute quick hits, go up there on the clock and do some exercising with her. But a couple weeks ago, we did a class specifically on, hey, we sit at these desks all day long, right? Believe it or not, that's really unhealthy habit. So let me teach you about that. Let me teach you how to counteract it. How can I be healthy while sitting at my desk 40 plus hours a week? And we will bring tips and advice and best practices for people to say, yeah, you need to know that this is not healthy for you, but on the other side, here's some really easy things you can do to counteract that. And one other example, in 2 weeks from now, I have a class scheduled called vacation planning, right? Even you guys are going to get that summer month coming up.
Yeah, a lot of people coming to Buffalo on vacation.
Oh, yeah.
And, hey, you're leaving your desk, you're leaving your job. This is not just a job. Most collections, right? This is a business. You own your own little business. So what happens when you leave for a week or so? Who is running your business? So we do a class that's completely related to checks and balances, get your ducks in a row. When you're on vacation, have less stress knowing that someone's checking your email, someone's doing this and that for you. And when you come back, here's exactly what you should be doing, steps 1 through whatever, to make sure that when you come back, you have a smooth transition and your vacation was well worth it and there's minimum stress involved. So classes and information just like that. People come in and say, you know what, you're creating this content, you're putting the effort into it. Even if it was a swing and a miss, but you made an honest effort, people and adults really appreciate that. They can see through that.
I love that.
Awesome.
I even love the mentality of this is your business, right?
Business.
Yeah, it's up to you, man.
I owned the store. When I was a collector, I owned the store. And I sold debt, and I bought debt, and I collected debt. And that was my store.
I love that.
On vacation, I want to know who's opening my doors, who's closing my doors, and we teach that in a specific course, purely for the benefit of the staff of being able to take their time off and come back a little bit less stress-free.
I've heard all you guys speak there, and I don't know what's in the Kool-Aid there, but I want some.
Yeah.
I want that Williams and Fudge Kool-Aid. I want that Kool-Aid, man. I want it.
Pretty good.
It was, I think Trisha and Bob both spoke at the event last year.
She spoke again.
Once I heard that, I was like, oh, I want a job.
Yeah, I love, Trisha especially, I love everything she ever says.
Yeah, it was cool.
Her and I were just in Daytona a couple of days ago in the ocean, doing a little bit of speaking, a little bit of working, but mostly in the ocean.
That's good.
Nice.
That's awesome.
So I have another question. So you said, correct me if I'm wrong, but you had, between the restaurant business and where you are now, there was a time where you were managing 40 people?
Yeah, so my very first role here as a team leader is about maybe 2.5, 3 years of just being your standard desk agent. Transition to a team that what I would consider was a high need of training, where I grew to 40 people as a solo team leader before we enlisted someone to come on and give me some help. But I know all these agencies, we work differently, but at this point in our staff's time is when we give them a portfolio for the first time. So for us, a brand new employee isn't necessarily learning skip tracing yet. They're not necessarily managing their own personal portfolio yet. I took a second stage or kind of first promotion team where now they're learning skip tracing, now they're learning how to manage a portfolio. And at that time, I saw a great need of consistency in changing our training. And the long story of it is that's what helped me transition into the director of training roles.
Okay.
A lot of proactive things with that team that didn't yet exist at that time.
But that was at Williams and Fudge?
Yeah, that was at Williams and Fudge.
Oh,
This
okay.
is the only agency in the industry I've ever worked for, and I can't complain about that. So all my experience has been through these doors.
That's
All right,
awesome.
maybe, well, I was going to ask this based off that.
He's
but,
going to ask you anyway.
A lot of so you guys are a huge company. You guys are way larger than a lot of our clients even. So how do you think the training strategy changes if you're a company of
Size-wise?
just a total, the whole company is only 40 agents?
He's already smiling.
If it doesn't change, right, you're behind in the times. Our software is constantly changing. In my 4 years alone, I have done more go lives on new software implementation that I care to admit or care to recall, and I know that the future will only continue to bring those things. So I love it when we have a break of 6 months or so where we're not bringing on a brand new piece of software. But anytime something changes, regulatory, if something's stale, you're not hitting numbers for a client, something's not right. It's the individual, or it's systematic, or it's both. You better figure it out and get your hands dirty. And I know a lot of companies out there are spending tons of money on compliance, on software, on emerging technology, and you've got to consider dollars and cents and profit and loss. And a lot of the times training takes a back seat to spending money. And I never stand in front of anyone or speak and reference spending money on training. There's countless things that can be little to no cost at all. A lot of these things that I've referenced so far have literally been pennies to $0. I'm not out there telling you to buy a $10,000 piece of software or program that's going to do it for you. A lot of that proactive stuff, the only kind of investment is a little bit of time, a little bit of effort. But if you're not changing your training, you're stale, you're old, you're behind the times. It's great to show potential clients, look, here's our training packages, here's what we do. And it's not stained in yellow from 10 years ago. We just came up with this content. We have, like you guys, I'm a big fan of your videos. I don't see a whole lot of anyone doing what you do, which is Thomas Impressive the other day. When I met him, love your videos. And
Someone does.
Yeah, you're the one watching. Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Keep it fresh. Keep it fresh. Your staff needs to be informed. Information, right? We know is power. So
let me ask this. I got a question logistically, because obviously training 350 people is not easy, right? So you do it once a month. You have a training session, right?
Well, yeah. So one of the things I was talking to you about, Spencer, was what I'll kind of break between the reactive and the proactive. I'm hoping and expect that everyone out there has the reactive category. You're onboarding a brand new employee.
Yeah.
That audit came through, a consumer complaint, hopefully not, but maybe a lawsuit, and then you bring that individual and you say, hey, Johnny, you shouldn't have said this, you shouldn't have said that, let's fix that, and off you go. The proactive training is kind of, we're going to provide this to you whether you ask for it or not, whether you want it or not. We want to bring those skills to you. But we do things that are annual, certain things that every single person in the office is going to get annual. The things we do monthly might benefit someone in the accounting or human resource department, but let's be honest here, where the rubber meets the road is the collection staff. They're the revenue generators. The majority of the ongoing training is kind of focused towards them. Mm-hmm. But when we bring in the CPR people, when we do the healthy desk kind of stuff, that applies to everybody.
Yeah.
I don't want to put some of the other departments in the shadows, but certain things in the accounting world don't change a whole lot. Certain things with our client service representatives are kind of the same. Collection, the personnel, the staff, the teams, the dynamics, the talk-off strategies are always training. So the main focus is on about, currently for us, maybe 250 or so collectors. The other so fill up the admin roles, and I try to show them some love as much as possible. So the proactive training, we offer several courses every single month. And then whenever the need comes up for something, we'll make it happen.
And you just do like small groups and they just cycle in and out at a time?
We'll do anything from 5 people. I've had 150 people in front of us. One of the main goals that we do here, I'm giving you proactive training.
Yeah.
You're off the desk. You're no longer producing numbers. You're no longer making calls. This better be well worth it. And if I had to work for 60 minutes, I failed. Yeah. We're always looking at 20, 25, 30-minute hit pops, get you back on the floor. Anything beyond that, you're going to forget. You're going to resent us for keeping you away from making the next big money payment at your desk. So hit the points. be efficient, all on having well-designed classes. And one of the things I've been able to do over time, right, this took a lot of time to build up, is I have a library now of my own personally created content that suits the needs of our staff. It's not just using an LMS plug and play, auto deliver to your computer, take your 10 minutes and click on some buttons. We're going to personalize training programs, quick little classes, workshops, case studies. I'll play TED Talk videos for people, 10 minutes, and let's talk about it. And that's it. See ya. Get back to your desk and use that motivation for you. But all this stuff is zero to no dollars and just a little bit of time. But I have a content of maybe 60 classes right now that if we needed to, I could plug and play and spin it. And every time I do it, just a little bit of tweaking. Can I change this? Can I update just a couple bullet points, whatever it is? So it's not like reinventing the wheel every single time.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
So that, yeah. I mean, well,
every now and again we get a guest on that I wish I had more questions because I don't want to let them go.
yeah, we'll have to go
We
again.
do have one other thing.
Perfect. He's got questions for us. That's how prepared he is.
So one of the things that started out was referencing a policy, a training document policy, right? And nowadays, everyone needs to have their policies in order. I often joke that we have a policy here that is about how to write a policy. Can't have a policy without a policy on how to write a policy.
That made our camera guy laugh too.
Right? But we have tons of policies, some of them several pages, a lot of legalese, they're tough to read. But about 2 years ago, typical situation, and I would pitch this to the small agency with 5 to 10 collectors, or the mid-size or the large size. This should apply to all of you. You have a bad audit, you have a complaint, hopefully not a lawsuit. And you bring that person in and say, hey, you know, Susie, this isn't like you to say this not so friendly thing to the consumer. Why did you start saying that? And then she goes, oh, I got it off that training document. You go, what training document? She goes, Rachel passed that to me. Oh, let me see that document. And she, holds us up to you and you go, oh, I remember that. That was from like 7 years ago. We don't say those things anymore. Here's what happens. Collectors are very creative. I don't blame anyone for this. They're being proactive. They're taking initiative. They might say, hey, I got these 10 power statements. Mm-hmm. These are the things I say, my open-ended questions, my rebuttals, my overcoming stalls, and then they type it up and they put it on their cubicle and it works for them. Great. Then the coworker sees it and goes, oh, I want a copy of that. And then the next thing you know, half the staff has it and it's got some unsavory things on it. Somebody didn't sign off on that. So we had a whole bunch of that going on in the office. So about 2 years ago, we took the initiative to write a policy. And what it in general says is you cannot create, post, or distribute anything without approval or going through a central channel. Now, it's important that you don't come off as over authoritarian or big brother here because nobody likes that.
Right.
What we do then is say, we want your input. We want your recommendations. Come to me. It's spelled out in the policy. Go to the director of training with your ideas. And I've collaborated countless times with people to create some of our best content. And one of my favorite things to do is to send a staff-wide email and say, hey, thanks, Johnny, for helping me put this together for everyone's reference and resource. Now it's published on SharePoint. And that's going to bring consistency to your floor. You can show your clients exactly what your training documents are. Hopefully, you don't have a regulatory body like the CFPB come in and knock on your door. They can and they will sit next to your collectors. They will ask them, show me your training documents. What is that document on your cubicle there? And our defense would be, hey, our staff signed off on this policy that said they know not to create, post, or distribute anything unofficial. So now it kind of takes the burden off you as the company and says you went outside the bounds of our operation. But I will say it's important that you let your staff know that your ideas are so welcome and make good on that. And I will reiterate, my best ideas come from our staff because they're the ones in the trenches doing this every single day. And I'll bring in 5, 10 people sometimes and say, give me all your power statements, give me all your fact-finding questions, and let's just make the best of everyone's idea and say, yeah, my name might end up on it, but I'll give credit to everyone that says, here it is, here's our official resource document for XYZ category. And if you're the small agency out there, now's the time to get it done because it's a lot easier to police and to get everybody on board with it. If you're the mid-sized to the large-sized company, do it now, better late than never, because it will take time for your staff to understand why you have that policy or what that means or get everyone to acknowledge it. But it may or may not be a problem for your floor, but nowadays we've got to be very careful what we say. And if someone has something posted and they say, hey, I learned it from here, I can't really put the burden on you for saying something that you thought was the proper thing. So have a training policy document that lets the staff know we want you to have all the tools you need. Tell us or ask us what you want. Let it come through a central point of approval, and you can get anything you want as long as I's are dotted and T's are crossed and we sign off.
Dude, that was this. Everyone should watch this, right? This is by far my.
And everything. I
Yeah.
said it one more time.
Yeah, nah, you're good without the tie. Dweebs wear ties, man.
Whatever.
Everyone who watched this, let us know what you think, right? Like, we're gonna. Is it cool if we link your information below if anyone wants to follow with you? Any questions?
100%.
Good. We were gonna do it anyway. So perfect. Thank you for
Whoever's watching this, I recommend you follow these guys. I've been watching them for a couple months now, and I couldn't wait to meet Spencer in Asheville a few weeks ago. And
Yeah.
I'd be lying to you if I didn't know that this would be the end result of me telling you I liked the videos.
Thanks so much
Yeah,
for
thank
coming.
you so much.
Seriously,
That was-
we're definitely gonna do this again.
Much appreciated.
Alex, thank you. Spencer, thank you. Next time I'm visiting home in Buffalo, I might knock on your door and see what's up.
Come and knock on our door.
All right, man.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Greg.
Thanks. And everyone else, same place.
See ya.
See ya.